So I'm starting the recording. Thank you for being here. This is our second in webinar with Adriana Kortlandt, and it was a success. Her talk, and then some people asked if we could have a question and answer with Adriana. So, I mean, I would like to welcome Adriana in this call, and I will give her, maybe the possibility to recap what she had said the last time we met, and then we can ask her questions. So
Yeah.
welcome, Adriana, and
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. So in our meeting on the June 25th, I believe, I used three mythical characters in order to talk about the past and the present. So I present Lilith, Eve, and Mary as mythical personalities, and they are present until our day. And I was trying to show how the myths are alive. So I talked about how they shaped and still are still shaping our identity, our behavior, and the judgment of women, their autonomy or sexuality. So Lilith, as an autonomous woman, she was erased from our culture. But she was also demonized as the first wife from Adam. And then came Eve, and she was the one who caused all the misfortune in our lives and for humanities at all. And so this kind of identity as a woman, as a prostitute, a nun, or a wife have to do with these three mythical women, mythical characters. So Eve is the devil, and Mary is the model of obedience due to the virgin birth of her son. She is a model of an impossible sexuality, or a model of the denial of sexuality. I didn't talk about the historical Mary. I just picked these mythical characters in order to understand how these figures shaped our identity unto today. So, in this sense, I spoke about the invisible corset within women in patriarchy from the past and from the present. We are still living in a kind of invisible corset. Not like our mothers, our great mothers, but we are still living in a corset. So I talked about the development of this invisible corset, how it takes place, and how this kind of corset are responsible for a kind of division in ourselves. As if women learn to constantly observe and judge herself, thoughts and bodies. So they are always controlling everything, how women are dressed, how they behave, how they speak, etc. So it's a kind of division in each patriarchal woman. I was talking about these divisions in one sense. Every woman in a patriarchal society splits in one side. The examining part of a woman, the patriarchal judge, is always there, like an invisible eye, or always looking and controlling the behavior of a woman and judging the woman. And this patriarchal I, this judge, treats the other side of the woman, the examined part, the woman to be judged and subjugated. They are always examining and judging this other part. And these two parts, the patriarchal judge and the woman to be judged, belongs to us, to our personality, to our identity. And so this kind of treatment of herself, ourself, by herself, defines her public image. This is the core of my psychological work when my patients want to do this. Of course, I don't impose. Of course, I don't impose this kind of point of view. But because I have so many victims of sexual abuse, harassment, incest, so many things, I decided to invite women to take a look how they could get rid of this corset and develop another way of feeling their own bodies. So the patriarchal I that women in a patriarchal society develops narrows down her space for thoughts, actions, and perceptions of herself. I made a kind of personal statistic about my patients, and only 5% of my patients wanted to make a report about the harassment, rape, or incest or harassment. They didn't want other people to know about this. So they are in this invisible corset. There's a narrow thing, a narrow vision and perception about themselves, as if they were guilty on all these terrible things that they went through. So, from my point of view, the examiner of a woman, the judge, this kind of invisible corset, is, I call it, the introjected patriarchal male. And the part being examined, judged, and subjugated is the patriarchal female. From the point of view of depth psychology, the work of deconstructing patriarchal identity goes through a reconnection to our own pulsating essence, recognizing our body, psyche, soul, mind, recognizing this split, how we are as a patriarchal female, how we treat ourselves in such a rude way. This is the core of my work. And I tried in our first meeting to present a little historical development, how we inherit all these myths and how we develop it in ourselves. So the core of this meeting, the core of my work as a psychologist is to understand the introjected patriarchal male or female archetypes or models. I don't know, we can use many words, but to identify this in order to change. I don't fight against my patriarchal female, but I try to identify her, all the things I have learned and all my patients, in order to transform them So it's a kind of active acceptation. And this could lead to a transformation in my psychological office or in my life as a woman writer, I don't know. So this was the core of our meeting, and that's it. So if you have questions or ideas, or if you want to share something, it would be nice.
Thank you so much, Adriana. I see Daniela, so I'm very happy that Daniela is here.
Yes.
And Daniela had a lot of questions for you. So I don't know if I'm just no. You want to wait a little?
Sorry, I thought it was at 11 this morning. The invitation was for this, and so I'm just here by a second. I need my paper, and then I can ask questions. Thank you. Thank you that it's possible.
Okay, I mean, so is anybody else? I mean,
Yeah.
So you.
I'm so sorry because I wasn't the time before. Sorry for my English, Adriana, but I just in listening to you now. I remember that I am a focuser. I'm doing focusing, and in one imagination, in one focusing, I saw sometimes a very big force in my right, and little by little, this force that was like a God judging God, became a building with a lot of people inside. And little by little, that I accepted this very is there, is there, yet there, and he's judging me, but is a little is less strength than before. Before was a clouds in the sky, and now is a building full of people that judging, that looking like that. And at the same time, today, in another focusing, I feel the feminine force that is not so. It's very my aunt, my grandmother, that are in some way very subdued to the patriarchal power, and for me it's very difficult to recognize this line of women, because I don't want to be like them, but I am also like them.
Yes.
So it's very it's interesting what you are saying, because I found some experience in another kind of path, another kind of research that is not so different anyway. Thank you to listen to me.
Okay.
I wonder, can I ask?
Yes.
For me, one of the things that really support me through the process of decoupling my relationship with the patriarchy and being able to remove myself from oppressive systems, oppressive relationships, one of the things that really supports me to be able to do that is a network of other women who are supporting each other. And I wonder if we could take just 2 or 3 minutes and each of us maybe introduce ourselves and say something about ourselves to kind of cultivate the space a little bit, so we can share more openly. It maybe helps to share more openly. Is that something that would be okay for you, Sabina and Adriana?
Yes, I have no problem. Adriana, are you okay? Is everybody interested in just sharing what so you want to start, Leanne? It would be nice, and then you can just throw the ball to someone else.
Yeah, sure. My name's Leanne. I came to the first session. I found it so intriguing and interesting. Psychology and sociology have been big part of my life, and being a female-bodied individual has been a big constraint for me in a lot of what I do. I was in the field of science for a long time, and I felt very constrained because I was a female in a room full of men almost always. And anytime I try to take a place of leadership, I feel very challenged. And oftentimes it's by other women that I feel challenged by. I'm not able to compete with the men, so they don't see me as a threat. And the women in the group are often threatened by each other because there's only very few opportunities for women to be in a place of leadership. So yeah, I'm just grateful for this time. I'm really grateful for you, Adriana, for you joining us again, Sabina, for you coordinating and facilitating, and thank you for letting me share. Would someone else like to share?
I can share. So I have found my questions, so we can later on have this. But for me, yes, I'm sociologist also, and I'm a healing practitioner, and I'm doing a kind of shift or change on a deep level. So I try to create my own business because I want that people connect to each other in a really trusted and a supportive way. Because here in Germany, I think everywhere there are lots of people with depression, traumas. They all went through their processes, and they have I don't know the English word, competencies through that. And it's so important that we share and connect with this to each other. And actually, I'm going through this process as a person with lots of experience in my own therapy, in my own trauma, figuring out and solving. And I'm also working with traumatized women. Yes, and I did a step back in my career in this way that I am working for money as a dental technician, because this is my first thing I've learned, and it's so I can close my mind, just work and save my energy for things I'm interested in. This is my way actually to work around the system. So I don't know if it's successful at the end, but I cannot anymore. So before I worked also in science, and it was I was really repressed from the system. So it was too much thinking. It was it was my duty to work for the system that didn't support me or others in a way that, for me, in a successful and supporting way. And I'm not able to do compromises that much anymore. This is maybe I think part of my process, that I'm not accepting too much things that doesn't work for me, or I figured out they are not true or not really helpful. Yes, this is what I can tell about me.
Thank you, Daniela. Can you just throw the ball, or somebody else? Because otherwise we're gonna be, can you throw the ball to someone else?
Yes, everyone who wants. Lena, Francesca, you, Sabina. Maybe, I don't know. Why not?
I can continue. Can you hear me well? Okay. Yeah, my name is Lena. I'm originally from Germany as well, but right now living in Spain and working for the European Eco-Village movement. And yeah, I've done a course with Sabina, the first GDE, which somehow changed my my perspective on life in some ways. And yeah, I've started to research also myself a bit about matriarchal cultures, and yeah, it's very interesting. Like I'm very much I very much want to contribute to a change in this world, and that's why also like this work that I'm doing now as a volunteer somehow fills me up. And at the same time, I see like that also in these structures and in these maybe transformative works, there are also some patriarchal structures still present, like people overworking themselves. And yeah, well, I notice in myself a lot of these judgments or judgmental parts, that I don't think that other persons have towards me. So yeah, I think I know that I have still there is still a path that I want to go with that. Yeah, and I'm wondering how I can myself include these maternal values more in myself and also in the work that I'm doing, and yeah, in the projects that I'm active. Yeah, and also wondering what kind of job I can maybe somehow do with that, because right now I'm only doing volunteer. Yeah, surely something about me. And yeah, thank you, Adriana, for being here again. And yeah, thank you also, Sabina, and everyone else for being here. Yeah, I pass it to Francesca.
Okay, my name is Francesca. I'm Italian. I'm an anthropologist. I work a lot in Africa, in West Africa. And now I'm collaborating with Sabina in her project, She, because I was fascinated when first time she told me about this project. I really like it, and now I'm very happy to be part. I work on gift economy with Genevieve Vaughan. What about? I really feel okay. I have some problem to express myself. I really have a problem to accept myself in simplicity as I am. There is a need to be like an adolescent in this moment, I think, without judging. I feel a lot the problem of judgment, and it's very important to share with other women the fact that there's not just something on me, but there is something cultural. This is very healing in some way. So thank you to be here and to because I'm not in, but this figure of Lilith is a very free image, and capable of expressing her hunger and her strength. And this is something very far from me, about what I am fascinated. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go next, and I'll leave Adriana go last, since she's our guest of honor. And yeah, I mean, my name is Sabina. I'm Italian. I'm an architect. I've been doing these courses on empowering women because I really started to realize that we were so so intoxicated by this system that I needed to do something. And since I'm at the end of my life, I'm more like at the crone age than at the beginning. I said, well, I have to give back all that I got, and I'm trying really hard. So I've been working, I've been studying. I was with Adriana at the matriarchal studies. I really discovered all of this. I mean, I've been a feminist all my life, of course, but I didn't realize, how intoxicated this world was and how intoxicated we were as women. So, I mean, the things that Adriana is saying as a psychoanalyst they're so deep for me, because it's really a deep journey of disintoxicating ourselves. And I do it every single day. So I know how what she says resonates so much in myself, and I've been 21 years in analysis also. I've been doing many years of analysis. So I've been on a journey. So I'm 67 years old. And but still, it is so nice to be with all of you, any women that is trying to, to get out of this crazy system in which we've been in it. That makes me so angry, because I mean, I realize how much I've been in this corset, and I didn't want to be in the corset. I wanted to be the Lilith. I wanted to be, the one. And I tried all my life, to get this corset out of my way. And I'm still trying to do it. So I have a lot of compassion for myself, and I have a lot of love for all of you, because we can only do it together. That's the only thing that we can do. So I pass it to Adriana with a lot of gratitude for all the work that she's doing.
Thank you, thank you. So I am a French Brazilian woman, and I grew up in a Catholic world and in a military dictatorship. And to me, this was my normal life. When I was a child, women weren't allowed to go up to the altar in the church, for example. And I know I was 11 years old. I wanted to help the priest on the mass. So I wanted to be, I found it very beautiful, like a theater, all this dress. I wanted to wear this dress, etc. So I asked the priest to be there with him in order to help him. And he told me, no, women are not allowed to be here. And it was like a stroke. I felt so ashamed on being a woman because I couldn't be there. And I told him 3 years later, but the maid, she is cleaning your altar. And then he told me, oh, she's allowed to do this. And I was too young to realize what I was hearing, learning, and introjecting. The point of liberation, my turning point, came when I studied psychology later in Germany, because I had the opportunity to study gender construction. And I read and read and read and read so many things, and it was wonderful. And of course, post-traumatic stress disorder. This is one of my specializations. And after that, when I started working as a psychologist, I realized the number of women who came for this treatment, and hearing their lives and histories and biographies. And I thought, wow, all this stuff is much more deeper and is so immense, because they all felt guilty. I have some male patients, but I am always surprised by hearing the word guilty. I am guilty when a woman is here. with me in my office, because almost every session, some woman will tell, I can't do this and this is yeah, this is my fault. They are so charged with family, of so many work, so many rules, and they all feel guilty until today. And then I realized that when I was in Brazil, I had a very nice contact to an indigenous ethnic called Tapuia. And I never met a woman, Tapuia, who told me, I am guilty, it is my fault. And then I thought, we have a very old story about guilt, and this story is still present. So I started to read about mythology. And in this sense, I discovered that so many myths from the patriarchy are still living, and they are living in myself, in you, and everyone. So I started to compose a kind of point of view, mythic point of view, post-traumatic stress disorder, split, patriarchal judge, patriarchal female who is judged, etc. So I started to compose a kind of menu in order to share this kind of perception when, of course, a patient wants to do this. I don't impose a kind of catechism. I don't do this. If the woman is not here in my office in order to work on this kind of things, I don't even tell about. But when I have so many women who wants to feel better this corset, this all-around guilt. It's so beautiful to see how in this exchange, in the dialogue, we are able to get in contact with so many old stories, personal stories from our ancestors, who are so inspiring in order to help me to discover, to get in contact with my judge, with my subjugated female patriarchal woman, etc., etc. So all this stuff belongs to my life, to my biography, and to my work. And since I am working with a method calling dialogical self, I believe I can stimulate women starting an internal monologue with these voices in us, as if we had a kind of theater in ourselves. And sometimes there's a God there, a mother, a priest, in my case. I don't know who is there. Trump is sometimes there. So, unfortunately. So, in order to identify who is telling me to do what I am doing. And it's so beautiful. It's not a heavy thing anymore. It's a play, a theater play that I am playing inside my mind and my memories. So beautiful. I am so pleased to do this. That's what I wanted to share with you.
Thank you, Adriana. Okay, now we open this session to questions. So I don't know who wants to ask us questions. I see someone who is smiling at me. Yes.
Yes, I can start, but if one else is wanting this, okay. Yes, I was very inspired from your explanations, and it seems to me very profound. So it has substance. this what you told us last time. And for me, I thought about the impossibility of being authentic woman, because Lilith is okay, possible, but is not connected. Basically, this figure of Mary also and Eve, she is dependent. So I thought this is for me the start where a person, maybe, or a woman, splits herself into pieces in order to survive in the society. And for me, it was completely logic. So I really stepped into it intuitively, yes. And I thought, okay, this is how I'm feeling. I can really relate to your explanations. But what's the solution? What's the solution? It's to feel myself as a whole person. And when I am thinking of situations I have in real life, but I'm not thinking about, but it's really the point that as often as I step out of the shadow, when I feel whole and good with myself, I get victimized. Verbally, emotionally. It's like a rule that every time I step up, someone from I don't know where says, this is not correct, you hurt me, you did that, it's like I feel sometimes like it's a rule, like I don't know, raindrops fall down and not upstairs or something. And this is what makes it so heavy, that I'm not interested to stay all my life as an underdog, or being victimized and thinking there's no way out of this. And maybe you can share your ideas to that, or what other women in your perspective should do.
I totally understand you. In my way of thinking, there's no solution. There is a way, a kind of work in progress. We are deep in this patriarchal system. We can't change the whole system. So this is just my point of view. First of all, it depends on what you mean by authenticity. I am a person, for example, whose biography is a kind of authentic work in progress. I can tell you, but it's still a work in progress. I don't know if today I am 62, if I am looking for a solution. I am looking for an authentic work in progress. I am looking for a network in which I feel myself supported, because I agree with you, it's complicated to try to get out of many corsets we have without sharing all these moments and these difficulties with other persons. So for me, it's important to have a support network. Is not to get anxious, because we want to get there like a marathon. When we will arrive, I don't believe I will arrive, but I really think it's a very nice life way that I am making, I am allowing me to do. And I don't have expectations in order to seize a better world. I don't have this expectation, but I feel so happy and so more than this. When I see, I talk about my patients who are taking their lives and their bodies and their emotions, taking care of this and don't letting another person, another patriarchal woman or man controlling this. But of course, my only word is no, there's no solution. There's a work in progress. There's a trip, a travel we are doing through this. I don't know if I answer your questions or, but
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Adriana. Yes, maybe it's the best way to cope with this, or the possible way. Yes, and just to answer your question for me, authenticity, I feel it. I can explain what especially happens inside. I feel connected with myself. I feel my feelings. I don't know. I'm present. So this is for me. It's authentic in this moment. And this, I don't know why, magically, moments when someone steps up and comes, I don't know, to criticize or to judge or and it's like a test, and maybe it's like a marathon in this picture. Just do not go back to the back seat.
yeah.
I
But
don't know.
I think the patriarchal system is a permanent judgment,
Mm.
not only on women, but on men. Men who don't behave as a patriarchal man, they are also judged. It's a permanent thing. I don't know why this system is like this, but it is like this. It's a war system, it's a judgment system, dominations. It is like this. So for me, this support to have a community is very important because sometimes to be alone in this tsunami is really complicated. And I think a supporting community helped us to get rid of this kind of, they are judging me. No, they are not judging me, they are condemning me. It's worse than judging, because when you're judged, we can be also not condemned. So the community is important.
Thank you. Yes.
Can I say I find a lot of inspiration from this UN rapporteur, Francesca Albanese, because she's being sanctioned and she's still continuing on to do her work because she knows what she's doing is in alignment with the person that she wants to be, and her voice is important. And for me, that's like, for me, just finding opportunities to find inspiration to keep myself moving towards the goal, even when all of these barriers come in my way, just keep pushing, and then changing the way I speak to myself when I notice the judgments has been really helpful. And that's something that I just started to be aware of recently, is that internal dialogue is becoming clearer. So it's not subconscious or unconscious. And like being able to change the script, reframe the way I'm perceiving myself, reframe the way I'm perceiving what I did. Because a lot of times it's like, why would you do that, Leanne? What were you thinking? And a lot of times it's like, because my behavior is against the patriarchy or in alignment with me being an equal, I'll throw myself under the bus and I'll claim responsibility for being the one that's wrong when I face penalty from society punishing me for speaking up or being, trying to be myself, trying to be someone who demands respect, someone who demands equality. So rather than throwing myself under the bus, or when I see myself throwing myself under the bus, like making myself the person who is wrong, if I can change the script and bring like some awareness to how it's supporting me, then I can reduce the amount of ferocity or how ferocious I am towards myself and kind of be kinder. And that kindness has been like, and it changes the way I perceive the world. And it changes the world that I live in because my perception has changed. So I start to see more opportunities for people that are supporting me when I support myself.
Thank you, Leanne. Do you have any questions? I mean, would you like to ask anything to Adriana or any of you?
I have one maybe. For me, it's you told last time about the judge, the patriarchal judge, or a part of myself or any person who's judging, and I found it really, I could really understand this for myself. And in our breakout rooms, I told something I really feel about this. I think sometimes that this judge aspect is really holding me together sometimes. It's a part that, like a coordinator, says, okay, now you can play this or this part or this part. And this is, I don't know. I thought, what can I put against, or that it's not so strong sometimes to change that. In some moments, I really feel like there's a judge and she's ruling me. It's not only a judge. Did you understand, or I don't know?
Yeah, I understand. And it is a question, a comment, your speech. Do you want to hear something about? I didn't understand.
I don't know this roles, this judge role. Can you explain it a bit more?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
The judge is someone who has, of course, help, gives the impression to help us to have a kind of structure. I know I can do this, I don't have to do this, it is good, it is bad, etc. So we can interpreting this kind of structure as a judge. Maybe in a deeper way, it's important to understand the need for this kind of judge. Now we are leaving our theme and going into our personal thing. But understanding why do I need this kind of authority in order to help me, it's a nice question. And how can I get in touch with this authority without fighting against? It is a part of my personality. I cannot fight against myself. It's not a nice thing. So if I can understand, if I try to understand why do I need this structure and what can I do with this structure, could be a very interesting dialogical way of understanding this judge. I don't know if I answered your question, but everything we have in our psyche has a goal, and this judge is a part of your life. So understand this presence, this person, this character will help you to understand the way you feel yourself. There's a lot of things to discover. It's a very nice adventure to get in touch with the judge. Maybe at the end we will find that this judge can have another name, another shape, another gender, much more careful.
Yes, thank you. Yes, maybe it was a bit personal, but it is
It's okay.
personal.
It's okay, but I had to tell this because
Yes.
we cannot go further deeper in this.
No, it's okay.
discussion. Okay.
Perfectly okay. And if it's okay to ask my last question or another question, when I work with traumatized women, with other women, I'm not alone with this. So we are a team, and we work with this woman, and sometimes my clients, they are really playing theater, and I feel it. I can see it. They are not in touch, not with themselves, not with me, and they are constantly hiding. And this is what really needs a lot of energy to work with. And we talked about it, my team and I, this morning, how much energy it costs to go with this and to handle this and to work with a person who's a woman who's constantly hiding and having all their masks and acting that out, even if we all feel the tragic behind this acting. And I don't know if something of this Lilith idea could help to work with them.
This very important theme, but I don't know. We don't have time to discuss this. But when people are hiding things, it's important to allow them to hide, because dissociation is a very important thing. It's a very important phenomenon. The dissociation is a phenomenon who is there in order to protect us. So from re-traumatizing. So it's a very complex situation. And unfortunately, I think I would need a half an hour to dialogue with you in this sense. Because we cannot break in dissociation. We cannot force someone to get rid of this dissociation. Dissociation is there to protect someone from something we don't know. That's the reason, because they are hiding something. And it's important to realize this and to respect this theater. But what to do if this is another theme? Sorry. I cannot give you a quick answer because it's a complex theme.
Yes, I understand. And it's so, there are so many women having this, or this is what frustrates, maybe, in my opinion. And in the past, this is why I was more comfortable in contact with men, because they are not like that most of the time.
They are like this, but they have other masks.
Yes, but this is something, it really drains me. And I really want to work with women and stay connected with them. But when it comes to this, I'm so fed up. It's like I'm running to a wall and damage my head on this, even if I know I can't break and it's not my responsibility to do that. But to handle this is, I think, so difficult for me.
Yeah, it's difficult for everyone. It's not the point. It is difficult.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you. For me, this were my questions. Maybe another woman has some questions. I don't know.
Thank you, Daniela. Does anybody have a question to Adriana? This was the purpose of this meeting, to just have some time after this to just ask questions to Adriana.
Yeah, maybe I would also have a question. It's a bit more general and maybe also broad. Yeah, but my question would be, yeah, Adriana, what would you recommend us, or yeah, any women or also men, to live more this Lilith inside of us? I mean, you have already mentioned things like being in community, having a network, living more our authentic part, and working with this. But I was wondering if you have, like, I don't know, other concrete recommendations in that sense.
Yes. Recovering this kind of essence for me has to do with childhood, before the domestication. This is the first step, I believe. Or I am trying this kind of method with myself. What I remember from me before the domestication, how wild I was, how spontaneously wild I was, and how after 6 or 7 years of life, all this vitality became, I don't know, repressed. So when I try to find a very concrete way in order to reconnect to my essence, I always go back to my first memories. I was so Lilith. I was so wild. I was dancing everywhere. I was singing. I was not caring about if it was beautiful or not. If I was pleasing someone, I was just doing this because the moment asked me to do this. On the beach, with friends, with my tools, with my I don't know, dolls. It's not important. But I was there without noticing if someone is looking at me, because this changed everything. When I see that someone is observing me, I change my behavior. So I do frequently a kind of meditation. It's a personal thing. I always go to the first years of my life, and I ask me how beautiful it was, and which kind of energy can I get now from this. For me, this is the first step. After that, of course, I don't behave as a child, but I try to reconnect to a life force that I had. This life force was repressed, but is still there. So recently, just a little example, I was in a party and the music was very nice. And then I decided to dance like an absolute foolish child, without noticing if it is beautiful, if people are looking at me. I was just like I don't know, a wind. And it was so, I was so connected to myself. Then I thought, oh, she is there, this child. And this moment was a kind of epiphany, because I was not there in my thoughts, in my meditation, but I felt this pleasure in my body, the embodiment of the pleasure. Pleasure, eating with the hands, crying, dancing without shape, without technique. Just this kind of spontaneous thing. And then I realized that I was in touch with this old person, old and young at the same time. This was for me a real moment of reconnection. Maybe this could be another theme, how to reconnect. There's lots of methods in sense of dialogical self, but they are always mental. It's okay. Mental things are okay. I don't want to put it down, but I really want to reconnect with the body. A child is a body, a living body, emotional body. And I believe this kind of reconnecting to my first life is helping me to do this. Despite all the mental work I am doing all the time. It's a kind of embodiment. Did I answer your question? Or did
Yes,
I gave you a kind of, I don't know, idea?
yeah, thank you so much. It really resonated with me, especially the dancing. Yeah, I also see that in myself, that I can then connect to this, yeah, this part of myself where I'm like, okay, I'm just authentic. I don't care what people think. So yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, of course, there are like many other ways. Thank you. Mm. Mm. Mm.
So anybody else? I think we are it's about 8:10, so I would like to just give another maybe 5 minutes for questions or anything that we want to share.
I have to
And then-
say goodbye.
Oh, you have to say
So
goodbye.
sorry. And I thank you, Adriana. Really, really thank you. Bye-bye. No.
Ciao,
Really, really
Francis.
thank you. Ciao, everyone. Ciao.
Ciao. So Francesca is leaving. Any other question for any of you who is with Adriana? Or if you are, please.
Yes, Adriana, can you give us a tip, something that we could start working on leaving here on how to continue to unravel the corset?
Yes. The first step is to notice the corset. So before we get rid of this, I would like to inspire you to know this corset, to talk with this. So when you feel yourself anxious, when you have the idea you have to do something very intelligent to please someone, when you have the idea that you're not beautiful, your body don't fit with something, when you feel yourself, maybe you have to consume something in order to feel yourself beautiful. All this stuff tell us about the corset. So for me, noticing the corset has to do with the body, feeling the body. When we do sex, when we present ourselves to someone, when we are using our body to be present in the society. What kind of commandment are imposing a kind of dress, a kind of behavior. So when we want to work with this invisible corset, we have to develop a kind of friendship with this. Because without feeling this, in this full repression, it's complicated to say, I am getting rid of this, unravel myself. So the first step when we work with this, with my patients and with myself, is to have the courage to naming this corset in my moments, in my life, in my behavior, in my way of dressing, in everything. And when I get in touch with this corset, I can develop a dialogue with this. I can name this. And by naming something, I can try to transform it. The corset is not an enemy. The corset is there. And I can transform this. But first of all, I have to be conscious of this. This is my opinion.
It's like we have to love it as a part of ourselves before we can let it go.
It's our shadow. It's my shadow. Shadow is a place without light. The shadow is all this shit that I learned and I observed in all my life in a patriarchal civilization. This is my shadow. So I do a shadow work with myself.
Beautiful, beautiful, Adriana. I'm so glad that we have recorded all of this. I hope that you're going to be, I will put this on our website, www.matriculture.net, and you can listen to all of this. I think it's precious what we shared and also what Adriana has shared with us. And also the questions were very, very good. I mean, it was,
Yes.
I'm very thankful to all of you for the questions that are really so important for each of us. So anything, I think we should close this session with one word, 2 words. You want to just check out, and with a big thank you to Adriana. And also I would like to remind and tell everyone that Adriana is planning to have a session. Do you remember, Adriana? Are you still with us?
Yes.
In December, yes, and she will be talking. Maybe you can say a few words about, your next subject, and maybe this is going to be for December.
Yes. The immanent and transcendent Mary, how archetypal psychology honors the divine feminine. We will not talk about the patriarchal model of Mary. We will talk about the origins of this mythical character, the divine feminine, parthenogenesis, and so many beautiful things which was demonized or I don't know, repressed by all this patriarchal institution. But the core of Mary as a mythical divine feminine figure is immense and so beautiful. So I would like to present something about this in December.
Thank you. This is going to be in December because Shidi is going to Colombia in November, and we have other things, but we are very grateful to Adriana for her work and for what she's doing. And so this will be online very soon. So if you want to re-listen to what we heard, it's on our website, matriculture.net. So thank you all. I mean,
Thank you.
just one word of I don't know, of goodbye or great or whatever. I just say thank you, Adriana, thank you all, and I pass it to Daniela.
Yes, for me, the same. Thank you, Sabina, for making this possible. Thank you, Adriana, for yes, letting us be part of your ideas and work. This is so important and helpful. Thank you, all the others too. It's good to be here with you. Thank you.
I'm grateful to be here. Thank you all. And
I
I
can-
hope I see you soon.
Yes, great. I can pass to Leanne if she wants.
Oh.
Yes, thank you very much. The word I would say, I want to say unhinged, but something like loosening, opening, presence. Thank you. Sabina, would you like to share?
Yes, I just started by saying really I'm so happy that this is happening between us women. And I pass it to Lena.
My words are thankful. I'm feeling thankful and I'm feeling re-empowered. And yeah, if you want to say this last word, Adriana. Again.
Okay, again, again, just to say thank you for this opportunity, for sharing this, and for filling this beautiful community, this support community. Thank you. Thank you, Sabina, for organizing all this.
Well, it will be online, and I hope that many women are gonna, it's not just, we're starting with a small group, but we're gonna become a force, and a very powerful force. So yes, good luck for everything, and have a beautiful summer, everyone. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ciao.